Hey everyone, this is Dan. Welcome to a new video, which is going to be a lesson on Gary Moore's amazing solo on And the Thriller's Gone when he played it with BB King around 92-93 on the video Live Blues. And firstly, I'd like to say that I've also made a cover of this, which I'll post in the video description below, so you can see me play it in its entirety. Also, if you want to skip from this video to that video to check on your timings of certain licks, then please do that. I will try my best to explain the timings, but there will be certain parts which will be pretty difficult to do it, because it's a Gary Moore solo, and a lot of the times he starts licks or does certain types of phrases where you kind of just have to watch it, get used to it, and work it out. But I'll do my best with what I can. Also, this solo is in the key of C minor. The original wasn't in this key, but the video that they played it was. So let's get straight to the first lick, okay? I'll play the licks with tab, and then we'll go through them, break them down slowly. So we have to start off with. Basically, this will start on the second bar of the second beat of the second bar. So it'll be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That sort of thing. So we're bending twice on the high 13th fret. So it'll be a full tone bend. Cut the notes off at the top. I don't want to hear the bend down. Okay, then we go, which is 11th fret on the high A, then twice on the 13th fret of the B with vibrato. Add a bit of feel. To finish it off, we just go, okay, 11th fret on the high A, 13th fret on the B. So the second note that we play on that B string 13th fret is actually the start of the next bar, so it'll be, you could count it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So on that 4 and is when we'll come into the next phrase, which sounds like this. So what we're doing there is we're playing the 8th fret on the B and then 8th fret on the high E twice. Second E 8th fret, we're going to put some vibrato on it. First finger for both of these notes on both the strings. Adding some vibrato. You might want to practice that first finger vibrato on the high string. So we have those 3 notes. Then we go 8, 11, 13. I use first finger, third, and then slide my third finger up. Don't hear the slide, of course. Okay. And then we go gradual bend here, and then. So we have that gradual bend on the 13th fret of the high E. Cut it off at the top. Then play 11 and 13 on the high E. I use upstrokes for a lot of these high E string notes. And then we play second finger and 13th fret of the B. Add some vibrato. So you can kind of count it like this: 1, 2, 3. Okay, on the 3, if you count it from that note, you have this next lick, sounds like this. Okay, let's play that again. Okay, so you have that little random note at the end. It is in the actual solo, so it sounds a bit wrong, but the more you hear it, the more right it sounds, funnily enough. You just get used to it being there. I don't know if it was a mistake when Gary played it or what, but I don't know. I like it now. It's kind of something missing if I don't play the note for some reason. So yeah, that's that phrase there. I play the high E string 8th fret, so upstroke, and another upstroke on the 11th fret of the B. Okay, 2 upstrokes there, and then a downstroke. Second finger I bend this note with, just because of how this lick works. It's just easy to do it this way. So a full tone bend on the 10th fret of the G, and then I kind of bend down quickly and pull off to the 8th fret. Okay. Then 10th fret on the D, and then straight into a full tone bend held with vibrato on the 10th fret of the G. Okay. Then after that, you might want to count it like 3 notes or something, or 3 beats. Okay. 2, 3. On that 4th beat, then we can start the next one, which goes. Okay, again the same thing, 8th fret, and then on the high 11th fret on the B, 2 downstrokes. That bend again with the second finger on the 10th fret of the G. Kind of a quicker bend. Try and sound it like that, gradual-ish. And then, which is 8th fret on the G, 10th fret on the D. And then it's kind of on one of the off beats, we kind of go 2, 3, on the 3 and I think it is or something. We play that note here, 4th fret of the G. Actually, that note would be the harmonic minor note we'd stick in if we were playing, So I'm just kind of outlining the arpeggio that you would be playing it over, or the chord. But anyway, yeah, so after that, we then have this lick. Okay, so this part here, we start on the 8th fret of the G, and then bend up, kind of like a semitone, and pull off, bend up and down by the way, pull off back to the 8th fret. So the bend by the way is on the 10th fret, so then we go, which is 10th fret on the G, 10th fret on the D, slide from the 8th to the 10th on the G. Then we have, which is, we start this lick on the 10th fret of the D, then bend up on the 10th fret of the G, a semitone, up and down, pull off to the 8th fret. Then we go, okay, which is 10th fret on its own, then bend up slightly and play it again. And then go, which is 8th fret on the G, 10th fret on the D. Okay, a lot of these bends are only kind of half a step bends, but it's kind of, they are part of the blues flavour, right, with the blues note in there. So now what we want to do is flip on your bridge pickup and then go to the next section. So now our bridge pickup is set up and ready, we can get into the next lick, which will sound like this. It'll be a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we keep in mind the timing that I counted. We'll start off with the 13th fret of the B, 11th fret of the high A together, downstroke, and then 2 upstrokes here, 11 and 13 on the high E. Then we have this bend, gradual, and then cut it off. Then we have 1, 3, 2, so it'll be 11, 13 on the high E, and then 13th on the B. Then finally, straight after that we go. Okay, so this little lick here, we want to pick the 13th fret of the high E, like if even a semitone bend on this one. So maybe not quite a semitone bend. So play it, bend it up, and then so you're going up down stroke. Sorry, a down up here, and then on the upstroke, we want to get that bend down sound. Okay, so we sort of thing. Then pull off to the 11th fret. So the first note here, bend up. Second note, bend down. Pull off. Kind of hard to explain some of these little notes here. And then finally 2 notes on the 13th of the B, and then pull off to that 11th fret. Now that note there should end up being the first beat of the next bar, so it'll be 2, 3, 4. So on the 4 and if you're going to count 16th notes like a 1-er and a 2-er and a 3-er and a 4-er and a, on the 4-er we start this next lick, which sounds like this. Okay, so this one here, first finger, 13th fret of the B, and then we play the 16th fret. Okay, then bend it up a full tone or quickly. Okay, like that sort of thing. And then 13th fret of the high E. Go 2 downstrokes, then an upstroke for that, I think. And then again, we play this 16th fret on the B, bend it up, let it ring for a while before putting the vibrato on. Apply that vibrato and then release it, so we want this sort of sound. Okay. So after we've done that, we want to go, which is 13, hammer onto 16, pull off to 13 quickly. Then a little bit of a bend here on this 15th fret of the G. And then finally, 13, hammer to 16, pull off to 13, vibrato, slide down, okay? So that, the first note we played there, before the hammer on and pull off, is actually the first note, or the first bar of the beat, first beat of the bar, okay, for the next bar. So it'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4. For that lick there, okay? Let's play that a bit slower. So this one here, again starting on the 4-er, we kind of slightly gradually build up the speed through this lick. One of those Gary Moore things. We'll have a listen to how I played it and, you know, kind of pick it up. But again, we have that Chuck Berry little bend here. Okay, so we have the 10th fret on the G, bend up a full tone, and then play 8 on the B and high E. I go down, down, up for this, for whatever reason. Then I play 11 and 8, down, up, on the B, that is. And then we go 10 on the G, 8 on the B, okay? Next part is, which is 3rd finger on the 11th fret of the G, okay? And then we play the 10th fret right after, but we move this 3rd finger as we do it. So we kind of slide it along as we pick. So you don't really hear much of the slide. And then we pull off to the 11th fret, okay? And then the 10th fret on the D. Then finally we have, okay, so that'll be 8th fret on the G, hammer onto 10th fret. Then I do an upstroke here on this 8th fret of the B. Another upstroke on the 8th fret of the G here. So you want a bit of quick movement there for the first finger. So then upstroke and then downstroke. So upstroke on the 8th fret of the G and then downstroke 10th fret of the D to end it. So hopefully that's nice and clear. And then we've got one more lick here to play just before the final little bit. So this part sounds like this. Okay, that part there, hammer on 8th to 11th on the B. And the next 2 notes I pick, okay, we have 8 to 11 on the high E this time. Bend it up. Slightly sharp of a full tone here. And then a quick little blues curl bend here on the 11th fret again on the high E. Okay. Then we go, which is 8, hammer on to 11th, pull off to 8 quickly. Bend, full tone here on the 11th fret of the B. And then finally, that first finger vibrato on the 8th fret of the E. Okay. Now we'll get to that little flurry of notes at the end. Okay, so the final section, we'll go through it with tab. I'll just play it through and then we'll go through it slowly. Hopefully I don't make mistakes playing it slowly. It might just be useful for a lot of you to pick it up from tab, but let's give it a shot anyway. Right, so let's just try and go through it. We're starting with this phrase anyway. Okay, 11th fret here, 8th fret on the B, so 11 to 8 picked, and then these first 4 notes will be up, down, so the next 2 notes here, kind of a semitone bend on the 10th fret of the G, bend it up, and then pick it again, bend it down, like that, like as we've done this before. Pull off to the 8th fret, and then finally 10th fret on the D. Then we'll go, so we have to roll this finger over to the 10th fret on the G, and play 8th fret, and then finally last 2 notes, 10th fret on the D, 8th fret on the G, okay? Next part will be, okay, which is that Chuck Berry sort of thing again, a 10th fret full tone bend, and then on the 10th fret of the G, that is, and then 8/8, B and high E, and then 11/8 on the G, sorry, the B, then we have, which is a bend, full tone bend on the G, and then 8th fret on the B, do that twice, and then finally we have 11th fret, then 8th fret, okay? Then we have another bend there on the 10th fret of the G, and then 8th fret on the B. Then we have, yep, so that's again, as we've done before, that bend up, 10th fret, half tone, and then pluck it again, bend down, pull off to 8th fret. So far we have then we have, okay, which is again bend, full tone on the 10th fret of the G, 8/8 on the B and high E, then, okay, which is 11 to 8 on the B, 10th fret bend on the G, and then 8, 11, 8 on the B, again that full tone bend on the 10th on the G, so we have that. Finally we have, again, which is high 8th fret, 11 to 8 on the B, and then full tone bend, 10th fret of the G, and then hit this note again, the 8th fret of the B, and then we have this final part, which is again that 10th fret bend slightly, a semitone, bend up, down, pull off, and then another 10th fret, just hit it and pull it off, okay? So we have that, so we have, and then finally we have, so we have 10th fret, 8th fret on the D, and then we have slide from the 10th fret to the 8th on the A quickly, and then blues curl on that 6th fret here on the A, and then finally 8th fret, okay? Finally we go Gary Moore's little signature phrase that he does a lot, which is 6th fret on the A, 8th fret on the E. Let's try and play that slowly, just for one final little ending thing. So there we have it. As I said, I'll post that tab again. I will have posted the tab on the last little slow bit. Hopefully it'll help you a lot. You might not want to go all the way through it, but listening to me pick out each note one by one. But if it helps you, then you can. I'll see you next time. Have fun.